everybody. Week 2 of our 75th anniversary celebrations. Sitting here in Neenah, we're in the conference room or the boardroom at Neenah, and I'm joined today by Tim Felker, who I'm going to bring into the conversation here in a little bit. I've of course had some instructions, so first thing I want to say is we had our first celebration this morning at 9 o'clock here at Neenah. It was really fun, really a good time, and so looking forward to one tonight and then obviously lacrosse next week. I have some rules to follow. As I said, Jackie is a taskmaster, so one of the things that people want to know about is how did we get our start in labels, and I talk about, certainly we started out as a commercial printer for a lot of years, and when my dad came in, we started doing a lot of commercial work for G. Hellman Brewing, and so as rules and regulations got more stringent around alcohol, labels had to change and change more frequently. So we had offset technology, we had a relationship with G. Hellman Brewing, and we were able to break in, whereas before, with our offset technology, and start printing labels offset, whereas before that, almost all of the beer labels have been done gravure. So that really got us into labels, and we really took to it, and we really liked the fact that it was repeat. Whereas commercial work, a lot of it's one-off, and you're changing art all the time. We really like the fact that with labels, you've got repeat orders, and that was pretty cool for a commercial printer. And so that really was our start. And again, that was the early 70s, and by the late 90s, we pretty much had gone 100% label only. And so Tim, obviously Valley was a partner of ours for about 12 years, so we knew you guys well. But I think also, how'd you guys get your start as Valley?
In 1999, we actually purchased the press, the first press, the Mark Glendenning press, which we actually found the PO for it, and we paid $300,000 for it. And at that point, we didn't really know what we were going to do. But it also was a growing point at that time of the water bottle business, and that really what got us into running water bottles and film on the Mark Glendenning. And then that what led us into meeting up with Inland in around 2007. Where we were doing the Arizona bottle wraps at that point, and that really launched us, because I was able to fill the capacity of our third press and push us into a fourth press, which every one of those presses are still here today. So it was a huge help for us to continue to grow our business.
Well, and we talk, I'm also supposed to talk about a little bit about technology, and that was a perfect lead-in, because you talked about those 4 presses are still here, but not for long.
Yes.
So, we talk about the changes in technology. In fact, you and I were talking about this morning, and, whereas it was not unheard of to have a press for 20 years, now today that time is so compressed, and the innovation that goes on seemingly year over year is pretty amazing. And, I think about all the changes we've had, say, in lacrosse, having the Schiavi, that is a gravure platform, which has completely changed the way we did business. The XL presses and offset, which completely changed the way we do business. 5th generation CTP for offset plates. At LPA came in, new Nilpeters, servo driven, all of that, new CTP, Flexo CTP, and Neenah. The first thing we did is put in a HP 20,000, and now the really exciting part about the new technology coming in Neenah, and could you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, and in such a short period too, 20 years, I mean, the equipment has changed so much, I mean, the technology has changed. In the past, it was always focused around flexibility to be able to do multiple things, and now with more concentration, the equipment is looked at more lean focused and efficiency. So a lot of the operator interaction is being taken out, and it's become much more electronic, so you can add repeatability and gain efficiencies with that. So the equipment changes in just the last 20 years have been huge, and they'll continue to grow with the hybrid presses and the digital input. It's not going to change. This is a very fast-growing industry, and it continues to grow.
Yeah, and I think that's correct. And what I'm really excited about is the changes coming to this facility in the next 6 to 9 months is pretty incredible. And so it'll be really fun, 9 months from now, to walk in, see it, and then try to remember what did it look like, 3 years ago, 5 years ago, 10 years. It's going to be completely changed, and really excited about that. Really excited about that. So the other thing that I've been demanded to do is a funny but true story, and so I do have a funny but true story, and actually you kind of foreshadowed it in a little ways in you talking about 1999, right? The fact that bottled water was starting to come online, right? And that was a phenomenon in 1999, and just a few years ago, you know, the fact that bottled water surpassed soda.
Yeah.
As the most purchased drink in beverage is just stunning to me. But I do want to talk a little bit about the first craft brewing craze or boom, and that was the 90s, kind of mid 90s, and it was absolutely crazy. And back then there really was nobody was really doing any pressure sensitive. Nobody was doing cans and or shrink, so it was all bottled. It was all cut and stack labels for bottles, and it got to the point where we had so many requests and we were at capacity that we got to the point where we asked people to send us product. Before we'd even quote, we would ask them, please send us your product. We would sample the product, and if it was good, we would quote their business. If it sucked, we wouldn't. And it's kind of funny, true story. It worked pretty well, but it also reinforces the fact that the product that you produce has to have some value, or there's just no staying power. And here we are in the 75th year of Inland, and I talked to that there was another 41 years before my grandfather bought the business. So Inland's been around for well over 120 years. And again, the only reason we stayed in business is because we brought value, and we'll have to continue to bring value. And I tell you what, that's what excites me, Tim. Just the changes I see here is what makes me so excited about the future, because we've reinvented ourselves in the past. We're reinventing ourselves right now, and we'll reinvent ourselves, as you said, well into the future. Because 5 years from now, who knows what we'll be doing?
Exactly. Yeah.
So that's it for today. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you soon.